he didn't feel a shred of guilt. Instead, he flew into a rage. He turned around and slapped her across the face, hard, but that wasn't enough for him. He pulled out his whip and beat her mercilessly. I stood in the doorway watching my mother get beaten black and blue. I didn't move. I did nothing. He was terrified she would expose his true nature to the town. So, he dragged her to the blacksmith. He had a custom iron mask forged, a scold's bridle, and locked it onto her head. It was a brutal warning: keep your mouth shut or else. My mother had no choice but to endure it in silence. Later, we went to church. In front of the entire congregation, he twisted the truth, preaching a sermon that humiliated her, painting her as the sinner. She had to swallow every insult, digesting his venom alone. But what truly broke her was me. I looked at her, this broken woman, and delivered the final blow. I told her, there is no way to live. I'd rather die first. My words were her death sentence. They hollowed her out. After a moment of silence, she walked out of the church with a look of utter hopelessness. She climbed up high and jumped, hanging herself from the rafters. My father looked at her body swinging in the air and started cursing like a madman. He screamed that her suicide was blasphemy against her husband and against God. No one in the crowd dared to argue. No one even dared to cut her down. With my mother gone, I lost my only shield. My life became desolate, but I didn't know this was just the beginning of my hell. One day, my father took me to the church alone. He declared that, under the eyes of God, he would take me as his wife. He wanted me to bear his children. He grabbed me like a wild beast, his grip like iron, and dragged me back to the house. Without my mother, I was like a lamb waiting for the slaughter. I had no strength to fight back. I was forced to sleep beside him that night. But in the early hours, while he was deep asleep, I slipped out of the room. I ran from the farm and didn't look back. But I had only escaped one dungeon to land in another. I collapsed from exhaustion. When I woke up, I was lying in the back of a wagon. A strange man barked at me to get out. He roughly pried my mouth open, checking my teeth like I was livestock. Once he was satisfied with my health and age, he sold me for a high price to a notorious brothel. As I watched the wagon roll away, despair washed over me again. Luckily, the owner, Frank, saw that I was still a child. For a while, he just let me do the dirty work, scrubbing floors and cleaning up. I thought I could survive like that, keeping my head down, until one day, a drunk patron started putting his hands on me in the middle of the common room. One of the women rushed over to help me out of the situation, but the man got angry. He dragged both of us upstairs. When he locked his murderous gaze on me, the woman tried to protect me. She pulled a gun and ended his life. But in those savage times, men protected their own fragile egos above all else. To defend their honor, they dragged her to the gallows without a trial. I watched my friend hang. A beautiful friendship turned into a scar that would never heal.